How is your day going so far?
It's going great. How about yours?
Nonstop, but good. And it's a pleasure to connect. Are you dialing in from Long Island, or is Long Island a thing of your past?
No, I am actually still on Long Island.
Still on Long Island, the Bayshore area. Do I have that correct?
Yes, sir.
Wow. Okay. So how did you get involved in Against the Ropes? Did you know one of the producers, or did a script come through your training? How did that happen?
Yeah, so I actually did a project with the producer who actually, Shane from New Light Media Films. I worked with him on the project, a smaller project before. And so when he thought of this project, he was like, oh, I know exactly who I can ask. So I actually didn't really audition for this. It was actually presented to me, and the way that he described it was perfect.
Yeah.
So,
How much understanding of professional wrestling did you have before taking on this role? Zero.
I had none. I am an athlete, or
sure.
washed up athlete, I guess. But I knew nothing about wrestling except for my girlfriend's father. Him and my sister actually they do wrestling for fun, but nothing to the extreme of the sport. So I did a lot of research.
Because you never know. I believe there is an upcoming wrestling show in Bayshore in the next couple of weeks at the brewery there. So yeah. You never know who's a diehard, who's closeted about being a diehard, or who's just never seen it and is intrigued by the performance aspect of it. So when did you actually film Against the Ropes?
So we filmed in the spring of 2021, which I have to get my dates right because I don't even know what year it is anymore.
Yeah.
But yeah, we filmed between about like 3 months, spread out in between like every weekend, every other weekend. And we got a lot done in a short period of time. So we had probably I would say I had maybe about 4 to 5 months of prep before we got filming.
Did you film it in sequence, or is it all the scenes in a gym are now going to be filmed? All the scenes in a okay. So yeah, it's that way.
Yeah, just for location purposes, especially during the pandemic, it was really difficult to make sure that we were able to travel, get together, find a location that'll let us be there, things like that. So we did it like that.
I don't know if you saw or remember a movie from a long time ago called Castaway with Tom Hanks. Do you remember that?
Yes, but it's an old school movie, right?
Yes. Depending on your age, it's old school or it's contemporary. But yeah. Tom Hanks is kind of shredded for like half the movie, and he looks like a regular person for the other half of the movie. And it turns out that they filmed all the stuff of him being super in shape first. In your case, was there any consideration of like, hey, I got to show that I'm coordinated and this, was it filmed out of sequence in that kind of way?
Yeah, what I did was when I got the schedule of when I was going to be filming the actual wrestling scenes, I did, I did make myself, like eat a little bit better and make sure that I was, screen ready for this. Cause I also knew that I was going to be wearing Kayla's uniform do they call it a uniform?
You could say a lot of things. You can say attire, you can say gear. I'm not the wrestling authoritative force or the wrestling police. So you call it what you want to call it.
But yes, so I knew I was going to be in her gear when she was back when she was a teenager. So I was like, I don't know what size she was. I had no idea how it was going to fit. So I was just like, let me just be the best shape that I can going into it and hope for the best. And it ended up working out close, but it was a tight race.
Did you consult with any wrestlers before you started filming on this?
Well, I mostly worked with Kayla. I spoke back and forth with Kayla for months, phone calls. I had her send me a lot of her matches when she was a teenager. I wanted to know her mannerisms, how she was, her energy. So I did a lot of work with her. I didn't necessarily seek any outside professional guidance or anything like that, but everybody on set was very helpful. Even the wrestling gym that we were at, the students there and the wrestlers there were helping me as well. So everybody was pretty much involved.
Are you allowed to say which wrestling gym or school it was that you taped at?
I don't have the name with me right now, but I will send it to you. Just because I know.
Was it in Hicksville?
No, actually, this was in Schenectady.
So upstate New York, Schenectady, New York.
Yes, that's where it was. That's where we were traveling between there and Glens Falls for most of the filming. We actually didn't do any filming here on Long Island, which I missed out on.
So back to Kayla for a second. She made headlines in the last week in that she was coincidentally on AEW and WWE the same week. Did you have any inkling that was going to happen?
No, I did not. I did see that, I think, on Twitter. And I heard that it was something that wasn't really done before. And I think that's great. I think, her being inspired by this project and getting back into her career is exciting. And I think that it just happens to be good timing with everything going on. But I did see that, but I wasn't notified prior.
Now I know. So are you allowed to say what's next for you? And the reason I say that is because sometimes people are under embargoes. It's like you're not allowed to say this is announced until Deadline.com or the Hollywood Reporter or something like that announces it. Is that the case for you, or are you allowed to say what is next?
Well, I don't necessarily think that I'm restricted with any detail. I would just say that the cast and crew, including myself, we left off the last episode planning on hoping to return and continue the story of Kayla. I do feel like the character has such a journey ahead of her. And there's so many aspects that this could go into and touch a lot of people. So we're ready, and we're just ready for that green light to give us the go. And then I'm really going to be back in the gym again, getting myself ready to go, because that was not easy.
I can only imagine. And if you do have to do more episodes, or rather get to do more episodes, do you then have to study more tape, watch more matches of Kayla?
Well, I would actually like to, I could go to like a pro. I could go to, any other gym and learn from the basics up. I even asked the director if he wanted me to seek out training prior to filming. He did say that it wasn't, as necessary, just because I would get that coaching on set. But it was really important for me to make sure that I did, the wrestling community justice. So I didn't want to look like I was just going through the motions, but I also wanted to, I also was new at it, which was kind of coincidental with the place that Kayla was at in her career. So, I'd really like to learn more of it. I think I could do a lot more with the moves and inside the ring and see what else we can come up with.
Yeah, this is a very interesting time for wrestling in the mainstream, because did you see the movie Fighting with My Family, the movie about Paige, the WWE superstar?
My sister actually heard about that, too, but I didn't watch the full thing. I did see Glow a little bit because I know that was coming out.
Yep.
Heard some positives and negatives about it as well. And now it's starting to become a little more of a familiar thing where, to my knowledge, it wasn't back, before I accepted this role. So it's exciting that all of this is happening right now, which is pretty cool.
There's those things. There's Young Rock on NBC. There's Heels on the Stars Network, which is more of a drama that has some wrestling in there. I think there's other things in development too. So, the last thing I'm curious about related to this project is, did you have any hesitation as a non-wrestling person of, if I take this on, they might peg me as the wrestling person? Or you just said, good role, I'm doing it?
I said, good role, new sport. As an athlete, you crave to get that, competitiveness back in. And that is, and I had so much fun with it. You know, once they told me I was able to, you know, beat people up and also act at the same time, it was just like a win-win for me. And it really just opened up this platform. And I've had, you know, younger girls reach out to me saying like, you know, I really love this sport. I wish that it was more accessible, like in my school, or let's say, you know, they don't have a camp or you know, a club like that, you know, so they struggle. So in order to have that training, they kind of need the outside help and support, which is not really there as much as I thought it was.
Well, last thing I want to know is, besides Against the Ropes, do you have a TV recommendation you could pass along for someone he needs a new show to start?
Well, I mean, this might be interesting, but also probably given, but The Inventing Anna on Netflix. Did you watch it?
Yes.
So good. I think, like, as an actress, she's amazing. She's young, versatile, you know, can do everything and anything. And I think the way that it was formatted was really well written. So I would definitely go watch that for sure. And then after watch Against the Ropes, I would just, you know, throw that in there.
There you go. And, you know, credit goes to her for coming up with multiple accents like she did on the Anna show.
Amazing. I saw it. I saw her interview, I think on Jimmy Fallon, was it? Where she was explaining it, and I was just like, I mean, that takes, you know, extra effort and going above and beyond. And she, you know, captured that role and delivered it amazingly. And I can't wait to see all the awards that she gets for this show. It's incredible that it's still in the top 10. It's still up there, and
Agreed.
It's a great piece. Yeah.
Agreed. Well, hey, thank you for your time. Hope to see more episodes of Against the Ropes, and looking forward to everything to come from you in the near future.
Thank you so much.
Paltrocast.